She was my northern star and the love of my life, a lifelong adventurer and lover of the outdoors. It was a dark, fateful evening when Lainey's light went out, and how rushed her demise was, and unexpected. At only 39 years of age, if only something could have been done before the bear began consuming her. What's up, guys? Iceman here. So this story is called Walking with Bears, and it's about a bear attack that happened only a couple of years ago in Colorado. This young woman had a very unfortunate encounter with a black bear, and after making many of these videos, I have come to realize how dangerous black bears can actually be. But before I get into it, I'd like to thank you guys for all your support on this channel, and if you want to help me out, you could like this video, subscribe to the page, and hit the bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And if you want to support me further, you can become a channel member or a patron. Links in the description below. And blessings to those who support the Iceman. So before I bore you with these bearing details, let's get into this chilling story. Black bears are a common sight in many parts of North America, including Colorado. Although they are generally shy and prefer to avoid humans, there are some dangers associated with encountering black bears. One of the primary dangers of black bears in Colorado is their potential for aggressive behavior. While black bears are typically non-aggressive, they can become aggressive if they feel threatened, cornered, or if they are protecting their cubs. If you encounter a black bear in the wild, it is important to give them plenty of space and avoid approaching them. If a bear does become aggressive, it is important to defend yourself using bear spray or other measures. Another potential danger of black bears in Colorado is their attraction to food. Black bears have a keen sense of smell and are often drawn to human food sources, such as garbage cans, bird feeders, and outdoor kitchens. If a bear becomes habituated to human food sources, they may lose their natural fear of humans, which can lead to increased human-bear conflicts. To minimize the risk of attracting bears to your property, it is important to properly store food and garbage, and avoid leaving pet food or birdseed outside. Black bears can also cause significant property damage, including tearing apart garbage cans and breaking into homes or vehicles in search of food. This can be costly and inconvenient for homeowners. To minimize the risk of property damage, it is important to properly secure your property and avoid leaving food or garbage out in the open. It may serve you well if you partake in these precautions, and it may save your life. Lainey was a beautiful, young, vibrant woman with her whole life ahead of her. She loved nature, animals, her boyfriend, and everything. She didn't have any children, but her love for life had no bounds, and her love for her 2 dogs as well. It was May of the year 2021 when a female black bear mauled and ate her, and shared her corpse with 2 of her cubs, before caching away her remains for later. The bear was estimated to be around 11 years of age. Remains of Lainey were found in scat samples from both the mother bear and one of its cubs. The necropsy showed that the sow, which is the mother bear, had human remains in the digestive tract, and one of the 2 yearlings also had some human remains. The other yearling did not have human remains in their digestive tract. There was some consumption of the body, and there was a lot of bear sign in the area, a Colorado Parks and Wildlife spokesperson said. The cause of death, according to the coroner, was perforating injury to the neck. Lainey attempted to crawl away as the bears held her down and began eating her. It's likely the mother bear started eating her neck while letting the cubs feast on her body, and that's when she passed. Lainey's boyfriend arrived home that evening around 8:30 p.m. and noticed the dogs were in the yard with their leashes still attached, but no sign of Lainey. Rightfully concerned, he began searching a trail on private land that she frequently would hike near their home, and made the horrifying discovery of her partially eaten body. He notified the Colorado wildlife officers, and upon discovering the scene, they found an extensive amount of bear scat around the body. It's uncertain exactly what happened before and during the attack. Her dogs could have led the bear to her after harassing it and then returning to their owner, assuming she allowed them to run free, which is unlikely, seeing how they were attached to their leashes when found outside her home. Extensive damage was done to her body. It's likely the bear charged her and took her to the ground. She attempted to fight back, but it was no use. The dogs fled the scene once Laney let them go, and the bears began ripping her to pieces and eating her alive. The Colorado Parks and Wildlife Twitter account made this statement shortly after the discovery. Necropsies on 3 bears caught near a woman's body north of Durango have been completed. A CPW pathologist found human remains in the stomach of the sow and one of the yearlings. Whenever an animal is euthanized, we receive many questions about why that action was necessary. Our responsibilities to the natural resources of the state are many, but we have no more important duty than to manage these resources in a manner that keeps Coloradans and our visitors safe. Euthanizing wildlife is never an action our officers take lightly, but we have an obligation to prevent additional avoidable harm. Of course, it's a frightening and tragic incident, remarked Rebecca Farrell, CPW spokesperson. We don't want this to stop people from going out and doing the things you love in Colorado. We share space with wildlife, so just take the small recommended precautions to be bear aware. If you do that, odds are an encounter is it's never going to be something you'll have to deal with. Laney spent her life in the outdoors and was an experienced and knowledgeable operator in the back country, wrote Laney's boyfriend on her obituary. Her greatest joy was to be in the woods with our friends and family and our dogs. While Laney's physical presence was suddenly taken from this earth, all that know and love her can take comfort. Laney's soul will live forever in her favorite place, doing her favorite thing, reads the obituary. She would not have wanted it any other way. Jeez. What a crazy situation that happened here. That this young, vibrant woman was just going for one more evening walk with her dogs, and it had to end like this. I don't know what kind of dogs she had, but I didn't read anything in regards to them being scathed or wounded, so it seems to me that they didn't help protect her. I've read of situations where people walk with their dogs off leash, the dog chases a bear, harasses it, and then the bear chases the dog back. The dog runs back to their owner, the bear follows, and all of a sudden, the bear starts attacking the owner. So it's something you really have to be careful with if you're taking a dog out into bear country. I personally have a German Shepherd, and she's very loyal and protective. I'm almost positive she would fight for her life for both myself and my lady if we were in a similar situation. But I suppose you never quite really know until it actually happens. But it's terrible how Laney was actually consumed, most likely while she was still alive, as is a common tendency for bears to enact on their human victims. I can only hope that her pain and suffering was short-lived, considering the inevitability of her demise. But what do you guys think could have been done differently to avoid this situation? And it's really interesting to me how this was actually a predatory attack from a female black bear. Most commonly when it comes to black bears, the predatory attacks are attempted by the males, not the females. But this is a really unusual event, and notes should be taken on it. I would also think you'd feel relatively safe if you had 2 dogs with you. So what do you think it was that compelled this bear to still attack this woman, even though she likely had the 2 dogs on leashes right next to her person. This bear must have been extremely emboldened, or desperate, or just confident. Or what do you think was going through this bear's head when it went forward with this attack? I also didn't read of any indication that she had bear spray or a hand cannon on her person. It seems to me that some people just trust nature and the outdoors a bit too much, and they think that as long as they're out enjoying nature, nothing bad will come of it. Or regardless, some just trust nature too much. But the problem is, death and suffering are parts of nature as well. And I know sure as hell I'll be going out there strapped up, if you know what I'm saying. But I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Like the video if you will, subscribe to the page, and stay tuned for more chilling tales from the Iceman.